3 skills every young man should master in his 20s. The first one is communication. The way you can articulate your words, the way you can communicate what you mean in an effective way. And 2 ways that you can improve this, the way I do it, is 1, reading books out loud. Whatever books you read, self-improvement books, fiction books, non-fiction books, whatever the topic is reading the book out loud and reading it with the breaks and the pauses and the tones that you need to be able to read it in the right way. Read it how it's said. Read it how you believe it's being said as the author writes it. So that will practice your way in presenting your words in a certain way and saying it in a certain tone and using sentences in a certain way, you know what I mean? So that's one way you can do it. When you record your videos or record videos of yourself, you don't even have to post them or have to be for content or anything, but when you record yourself speaking and then you can look back on the video, then you can see what words you say a lot of, or if you say and a lot, or if you're comfortable in front of a camera, because majority of the time if you're comfortable in front of the camera, then you're going to be able to find a way to be comfortable speaking in front of people. It just kind of makes it easier. Doesn't mean that you're going to be amazing at it, but it'll make it easier for you. So 2 ways that you can better your communication and your articulation of words is 1, reading out loud, that'll better it, and 2, speaking in front of a camera and looking back at the footage to see what you do good, what you do bad, what you need to work on. That type of thing. The second skill that you should master as a young man in your 20s is the knowledge and ability to train your body, and the knowing how to train your body. You know, when you go into the gym, how to move the weights, when you're going and running, how to move your body in certain ways to train it, to build the muscle, knowing how that works scientifically and knowing how your own body works just in general. And also I'm gonna combine this one in this second point too, is learning a martial art, learning a fighting sport, learning any sort of thing when it comes to self-defense, when it comes to knowing how to protect yourself, knowing how to be offensive and defensive in a martial art type of way. I used to be an amateur boxer, I had a lot of amateur fights, and that taught me a lot growing up. You know, I was an amateur boxer from 15 years old to 20 years old. I'm 23 now, so I've stopped for about 3 years to then pursue this content creation journey. And this has given me the confidence. When I was in that journey, I've got way better confidence, way more. I back myself way more. I'm way more competitive and hungrier just in general than other people. There's a lot of things, the pluses that you can get from learning martial arts and even competing them in matches and everything, because it's the real test right there. So point number 2 is learning how to train your body with the weights to build muscle and move your body. Learn how to burn fat with your running and jogging and learning how your body works and everything. That's a skill. That's the second skill you should learn. And also learning a martial art. Third skill that you should learn to master as a young man in your 20s is being able to journal and reflect. All right, being able to journal, reflect, or being able to sit in silence and think in your thoughts, being able to be with your thoughts and kind of be okay with them. That is a skill. That is something that you would have to better over time if you're not good at it yet. When you do get better at journaling and writing stuff down, writing down your goals, writing down what you're grateful for, right? There's different types of journaling, but when you're writing stuff down, this gives you a better understanding of how you think about things and how you would want to go about things in the future, what you're looking forward to, what you're happy and proud of at the moment. It gives your brain some sort of understanding of where you're at right now and where you want to go, which is very, very important. It also gives you the ability of reflection, which is also part of the reason why I explained that sitting in silence or sitting in a quiet room or whatever with no music, no stimulation, no videos, no one in the room, where you're just sitting in silence, sitting in your car, sitting in somewhere where you can just be in your thoughts. And that's some sort of form of meditation, or it can be some sort of form of just reflecting on your day, on something that you went through that day that challenged you and the way you think that you should have done this better or that better, and be conscious and aware of what you would do next time and everything. And it's kind of the same thing as writing things down in a journal, but then you're also just sitting in silence and not having that dopamine affect you constantly when you're listening to music all the time, and you're blocking it with TV shows and watching Netflix and YouTube too much. So that's definitely a skill. The skill to be able to sit in silence, the skill to be able to reflect and write down your thoughts, goals, gratefulness, everything. The skill to be able to train your body and know how to move it, how to train it properly. The skill to be able to learn a martial art and defend yourself will build you a whole new confidence. The skill to be able to communicate effectively and articulate your words in a way where people are going to be able to listen or want to listen to you. The confidence to do that. 2 ways you can improve that is by recording yourself and or reading books out loud. You know what I mean? So I hope this video helps you in any way possible. It was short, sweet, got to the point. Hope this helps you. Thank you.